Well, first of all, when I got my call, I had no idea where Sierra Leone was. They said you're hereby called to the Sierra Leone Freetown mission, and I was like, where in the world is that? My brother-in-law was there, and he's like, I think that's in Africa. And so of course, we went and looked it up on the internet, and we found out where it was, and yeah, it was in Africa, and it said I'd be serving in the Ghana MTC, and I had heard about Ghana before. Everyone, you hear about Ghana every once in a while in the news or something like that, so I knew where that was, and so I was super excited immediately. As soon as I found out I was going to Africa, that, Africa had always been one of the places that I'd want to visit before. And so, but yeah, I got the call. Of course, I had to get my visas, or all my travel documents, my passport, and things like that. And that took a little while. I think they gave me 4 months or something like that before I left to get everything ready. And headed off straight to the Ghana MTC. Stopped in JFK in New York and headed straight to Ghana. And the Ghana MTC is not very big. It's an MTC that holds, I think, 100 people maximum, and they all come through the Ghana MTC in waves. It's not just like every Wednesday you have people arriving and people leaving. You get 20 or 30 or 40, however many people are entering the mission field in West Africa at that time. And then they work their way through the MTC. It's usually about 3 weeks, and then they leave. There's not really a lot of language learning in the Ghana MTC. It's just you stay there for approximately 3 weeks, learn the gospel, learn how to be a missionary, and then they send you out. So pretty much missionaries from all over, well, not all over Africa go to that one, because there's one in Johannesburg as well, I think. But they pretty much any missionary that's serving in West Africa goes to the Ghana MTC. And went there. It was great. I got to my first African companion, which was really cool. He was a Nigerian guy, and he was a lot of fun. I started learning about the culture a lot just in the MTC, and I thought the MTC was a great experience. How they kind of brought you to Africa before they just sent you straight out into the mission field, because then you could arrive, you could kind of meet some African people, be in an African, climate, environment, before you were just like thrown into the thick of it. And so it kind of it is like a transition point. I was kind of surprised when I learned in the MTC that my companion had only been a member of the church for about a year, and so he was still learning the gospel himself, and he was preparing to be able to teach other people the gospel. And so that was a huge experience, but he was super humble and super willing to learn. Just the greatest guy ever. And I remember I taught him some basic things like how to tie a tie. He didn't know that yet. Or there were even a couple of principles of the gospel that he had never really heard of before, that I was like, seriously? But it's he learned, and he was just over enthusiastic and willing. And I found that that's kind of the way that a lot of people are in West Africa. They'll grab a hold of the gospel, and even if they don't know it completely yet, they'll just go for it. They'll just start living it to the best of their ability. And so that's kind of how my companion in the MTC was. The only Nigerian companion I ever had on my mission, but he was awesome though.